In this video, should you buy your first e-bike from an online direct-to-consumer brand, a brand offered in bike shops or stores, or a little bit mixture of both? Let's get started.
I'm Miles from Ebike Escape.
I'm Ryan from Ebike Escape, and this video is part of our full series on a beginner's guide to your first e-bike. Thanks to Electric for sponsoring this video. More on them in a second. And if you're planning to buy your first e-bike, you can also support our channel for free with the brands that we work with. Just use our affiliate links down in the description before you make your purchase. All right, let's break down this decision tree. This is a conversation that I have at the start with a lot of people who are asking for advice, and it is a big question.
So what you can expect from a direct-to-consumer experience is a mostly online experience for purchasing as well as support after purchase. Now, some of these companies do deal with bike shops if you need that in-person support, but not all of them. So I'd expect a mostly online experience.
For the most part, your first point of contact, though, if you were to have issues, is going to be with the brand. They might send you to a bike shop that they work with for support.
Now, some of the benefits of purchasing from a direct-to-consumer brand is you are getting a better value for your dollar. They are cutting out the middleman, so there is a lower overhead.
They also have no physical footprint across the United States.
Another benefit is you have an enormous selection from hundreds of brands of all different styles of e-bikes.
Some brands that we haven't even heard of.
Another benefit is the convenience factor. Being able to shop from your living room and having an e-bike arrive on your front doorstep is a huge perk because transporting an e-bike around isn't always the easiest.
Now let's get to the cons. I think the biggest one is no test rides. That's probably why you watch YouTube channels like us, so you can get an idea. We try to talk through everything in our reviews so you can make an informed decision if you don't actually get to ride it. And next, in the unlikely event that you have an issue with your e-bike, you're going to have to repackage it and ship it back to the manufacturer. They'll probably give you a label, but you still need to have UPS or FedEx either come to your door or you need to drop it off. So keep that in mind. Also, with direct-to-consumer brands, there's just inevitably more assembly. If you're just a little bit handy and can follow some easy YouTube tutorials, this is possible. Now, the sponsor of our video, Electric, does make it easier than any other direct-to-consumer brand. Simply put in a through axle, maybe adjust the handlebars, do a safety check. We've done unboxing videos on many of their e-bikes so you can get a full understanding of what you're getting into. But otherwise, you should assume that you're going to have to put on a front wheel. Maybe it's a bolt-on, maybe it's quick release. You're going to have to attach a stem plate. You might have to attach a rear rack, maybe some lights as well. We do recommend that even if you go the direct-to-consumer route, if you are at all uncomfortable with what you just did setting up the bike, just take it to a bike shop and just ask them to do a quick safety check to make sure you're safe to ride. And then obviously the lack of immediate support. In some cases, you might be able to take your direct-to-consumer e-bike if you have a direct-to-consumer e-bike friendly bike shop where you live. But more often than not, you're going to have to get in contact with the brand you bought it from. Yes, they might have a phone number where you can call them and get immediate information. They might have a chat. Otherwise, you might have to send them an email and it might take a few days for them to get back to you. Let's talk about some of the most notable direct-to-consumer brands. First, Electric, the largest direct-to-consumer brand. They've sold over 500,000 e-bikes. They're the largest seller of e-bikes in North America currently. Other brands include Ride One Up, Rad Power Bikes, as well as Ebikes. I do want to caveat this category because some of the brands are trying to kind of bridge the gap between an online and in-store experience. I think the biggest examples of this is Electric and Rad Power Bikes, both with their recent partnerships with Best Buy. So yes, you could go to a Best Buy if you live near one and perhaps see them in person, though from my understanding, they aren't allowing test rides, but at least you can feel and touch and maybe sit on the bike. So that's something to keep in mind. And we mentioned Ride One Up here. I know they have 7 dealers across the United States, but that's not a very large dealership network. Again, the real value here though is just getting a better e-bike than you otherwise would from your local bike shop.
Now, if you opt for the bike shop experience, this is where you're going to see the brands that have literally been around for decades.
For example, we have a Trek store in the city where we live. Other brands you might see: Specialized, Giant, Gazelle, well. Basically the household names that have stood the test of time. So the pros of going this route are going to be better components, so you do have to pay for them. Personalized experience, you're going to literally be able to walk into a bike shop and have a one-on-one conversation with perhaps someone who has been in the bike industry for a long time. They'll walk you through all the displays, some of the advanced settings. You'll also be able to take a test ride. It's more of the white glove experience. And then yes, you're guaranteed to have a place to take your bike if there were to be any issues. They're also going to be able to dial it in for your height to make sure you're getting proper leg extension, to avoid any aches and pains, perhaps in your knees if you don't know where your seat height should be. They can also adjust the handlebars, basically get you set up so you are ready to ride comfortably. And yes, your bike is going to be fully assembled because they took it out of the box and assembled it for you.
Now, some of the compromises that come with the bike shop experience is you're introducing a middleman, but that comes with the value of having an expert guide you through your purchase experience, but it is something that you do end up paying for a little bit.
And with some of the brands we mentioned specifically, yes, you are also paying for some of those name brand components. Particularly if you're looking at a Bosch mid-drive, that's going to be an expensive e-bike.
Another consideration is you're not going to have the same selection as the online experience because there's literally hundreds of direct-to-consumer brands out there, and there's only so many that sell their bikes in a bike shop.
And even within the brands, take Specialized for example, they have limited floor space, so they're not going to have every spec on the floor, the one that you might want. So you might have to compromise a little bit on the bike you actually choose unless you want to wait. I also want to caveat this category with, yes, Trek does have a website you can buy online, but if you're already paying the premium, you might as well have the bike shop in-store experience, unless you're super familiar with the model that you want to purchase. Next, we have the Omnichannel Brands. That's a fancy word for meaning you can go online or you can buy in-store, and here we tried to focus on the brands that we think are doing this in the biggest way. So yes, you can go to their website, you can buy online if you want, but some of these brands have large dealership networks, so you can likely see them in person and you can have a mix of experience. Maybe you want to go in store and you want to see and test ride your e-bike, but then for support you feel more comfortable contacting them online, or vice versa. Maybe you buy it online and then you have an issue down the road or just want to tune up. You know that there are dealerships across the United States that are going to be able to help you out because they literally sell the brand in store. They're not going to turn you away like some brands might turn away a direct-to-consumer brand. And this is where I lead a lot of people to, family members, people that email me, the audience on YouTube, because they want the peace of mind of that in-store experience, and they also want to touch the bike before they make their purchase. And I should mention price when we talk about brands. You can still get an affordable option, cheaper than say Specialized, and still have the bike shop experience and still have a great e-bike that's going to hold up for many, many miles. Now let's talk about some of the brands. The one that is the biggest that we recommend the most is Aventon. 1,800 plus dealers across the United States, and I believe currently all their models are under $2,000. Again, great price point and still quality product with still having the option for the in-store experience. Another one is Velotric, 1,000 plus partner bike shops. Those are the two biggest that we've seen. There are some smaller brands that we've seen work with bike shops. One is Ufree. I know they have 100 plus dealerships at this point. They're trying to grow that number, as many of these brands are. So most likely, if you're in this category, you're gonna buy an Aventon, a Velotric, or perhaps a Ufree if you're lucky enough to live near one of their 100 plus dealers. Let us know in the comment section, what kind of experience do you value? Is it really price point that's important with the direct-to-consumer brands? Do you really like some of those household names, or are you leaning towards some of the omni-channel brands where you have the online or in-store experience as well as for service? Reminder, check out our affiliate links. If you are planning to buy online, you can support the channel for free with the brands that we work with. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the playlist in the top right-hand corner of your screen for all of our videos that are dedicated to those looking to purchase their first electric bike. We'll see you in the next one.